Okay.
Okay. I think you're good, Abby.
Yes, we are streaming, but please just hold the mic for some moment.
Have you started recording?
Yes, we started recording.
Nice. Okay. Just give us the green light once everything is set.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. Adra, what's going on?
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Okay. Let me just acknowledge some of our wonderful, wonderful attendees. I see Mr. John, Mr. Olawale Babalola, Brother Franklin. How you doing today, sir? Brother Emmanuel Makonjuola, Brother Emmanuel Bassi, Elijah Oseni, Brother David Olatunde, and Sister Chinyere. Good to have you once again. Brother Delike Olawale.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. All right. Brother David, good to have you, sir. Brother Rotimi, our person. Good to have you, sir. Good to have you. Just last
Good evening,
minute.
sir. It is nice being here. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you too. Okay, it's getting.
All right. Just trying to download a file and we'll be ready to go.
Alrighty. Okay. Okay. What's left?
All right. I think we can do.
Are we good to go?
Yes. Let me stop my
Okay.
screen sharing.
Please
All right.
help.
We are good to go.
Fantastic. There are some people in the WhatsApp group, the community, that need help. Help me advise them on what to do so that they can also join us. All right, we're live. Good to have every one of us here tonight. We truly are sorry for the delay. We should have started earlier. We are 8 minutes behind schedule, so we have to go beyond 9 p.m., probably 9:15. I want to say thank you to our guest once again, Mr. Adedamola Adereni. Did I get that pronunciation right, sir? Mr. Adedamola. Hello, sir.
Oh, hello. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I said, did I get the pronunciation right?
Yeah, very close to it. Adereni, that is the pronunciation, and you are not too far from it.
All right, good one. All right, so let me quickly do an introduction. This introduction, get ready, it will blow your mind. This is no mean man. The Bible says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his work, he will stand before kings and not before mean men." This is one person who has been diligent. He's had about 2 decades at this craft, so he knows what he's talking about. And today we are all going to be learning from him. He's a passionate and creative multimedia expert. His expertise cuts across IT, broadcasting, and digital display solutions. With an HND and BSc in physics and electronics from Yaba College of Technology, Lagos, and Bells University of Technology, Ota, Ogun State, Nigeria. So you see, he's gone to school for this. Over the years, he has worked as a studio manager for Covenant University and later Living Faith Church worldwide, where he judiciously demonstrated his leadership and technical skills for 7 years before signing out to focus on his own media company while still very much worshiping and serving at the Living Faith Church. Alongside his career and profession, he has consulted for several organizations. He's the visionary and director of Jewel Box Company Limited and the CEO of Digital Display Works Limited, a subsidiary of Jewel Box Company Limited, incorporated in 2008. 2008 is what? How many years back? 15 years ago. DDW specializes in indoor and outdoor LCD and LED video wall projects, with many successful projects handled. They are known for best quality LED chip with 2 years warranty and full technical support to clients. Guys, you already know what it is. When it comes to LED, you know who to call. He is a member and an executive ambassador of Church Media Professionals Network, a platform created to provide a space for collaboration, education, and growth within the church media industry. Ladies and gentlemen, with a warm, loud applause, can we bring in our special guest tonight, our industry leader, Mr. Adedamola Adereni. Fantastic. Good to have you, sir.
Thank you. I'm actually very, very humbled by your introduction. It also blows my mind just the way you are mentioning it too. I appreciate the platform you guys have created for persons like us to come on board. It's, secretly, and let me just appreciate you too openly that this is very, very commendable. It's a very good one for, I think when we were coming up, Probably if we have got this kind of platform, probably will have gone further than where we are. But thank you, Mr. Kweyemi and Mr. Adura for creating this kind of platform. And I'm really, really humble. Not, I won't take it lightly for coming on this platform. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for also obliging us and being on the platform. Okay, let me quickly do a small introduction of what we do on this platform and why we are here. Okay, so Church Media X. I'm sure most of us have heard about it now. Church Media X. What does it stand for? It's a vision to build the largest community and platform for young talents, entrepreneurs, professionals, and creatives in the church media industry, where each one of us can get support, resources, and network for career and kingdom advancement. So our mantra is, we inspire excellence, we sharpen your expertise, and we broaden your experience. So tonight, we are on the Church Media Professionals Bi-Weekly Forum, which is one of the expressions of Church Media X. We have the Prayer Control Room, another expression. Then very soon, we're going to be having conferences and all manner of things, including a school and stuff like that, a studio. But for where we are right now, we have a community on WhatsApp, a WhatsApp community of about 800 people from about 200 churches. And God has indeed been faithful. We hope to hit about 5,000 community members very, very soon. So if you're on this forum tonight and you're not part of the Church Media WhatsApp group, we're going to leave a link in the chats for you to join the group. And from there, you're going to meet other people, network, and have solutions to your challenges. So let's kick it off straight. Mr. Damola, let's talk about displays in churches. What have you noticed in the last 20 years? What has changed? And what do you think is going to even change more? Let's be brief. Let's do 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because like you said, we have a lot to talk about. Just give us a short background of how the video displays have evolved in the churches.
Thank you. Apparently, I want to submit that, use of display in church was actually limited to just maybe the use of TV. And, at the time, I remember just a few, I will mention categorically, I think it was Koza who transformed the whole usage of large screen in churches. When Koza came up and they did a spectacular video, and I think that really brought the awareness of using large screen in churches. LED was there, and what also helped it is the technology that is actually fast evolving. I remember in 2006, thereabouts, when we installed our first LED at Faith Tabernacle. I will mention that it was P10. No, it was P16. We used P16 for indoor at that time. I'm sure, P16 is for outdoor now. In fact, even not all outdoors are suitable for P16. So at that time, I think it took the church a whole lot of, at that time, it wasn't something that is everywhere. Therefore, a large hall like that was the need for it. So projector was the norm, was very, very common at that time. So even if you can have a projector, you are a king. Having a big projector, I think a lot of persons, even projector was not really accessible that time. you have to spend a lot of money to buy a big projector that will serve a big screen. So over time, we've graduated from that to using TVs, especially if you don't have money to buy a projector, everybody is using TV at home. So a lot of persons can easily deploy TV. You don't need any technology to deploy TV. But TV too, as at that time, there's probably the largest you can see that time was around 55. Because I remember the first time it was 2009, thereabouts. I saw the biggest TV. That was I went to Bishop's house to do something, and I saw a giant 96-inch TV. That was very massive to me. So over time, we have migrated from projector to TV, and I think projector is still relevant, but it's not as dominating, as evolving as LED screen. So LED screen is fast evolving because of the technology that is coming up. So by now, we've got a very good Nigerian churches. They are not behind. In fact, we are in the global space in terms of media display technology.
Fantastic. I think there are some challenges with projectors. So I think that's more the reason why people migrated from using projectors to using flat screen TVs. Now, there are some challenges with flat screen TVs. That's why some people are moving from flat screen TVs to LED screens. So can you tell us some of these challenges? Because I know there are some churches that are still thinking of buying projectors in 2023. Some are thinking of buying display screens, TV screens in 2023. And there are some that want to buy LED screens. But, we have different challenges across that spectrum. So what are the challenges that we would have with projectors? Me, I know for sure, number one is that you can't walk in between the projector and the screen. That's one major
Thank
challenge.
you.
Yeah.
Projector, before now, in terms of when we started using LED in this part of the world, in advanced countries, LED screen was not acceptable, was not the norm. Projector was preferred. I think one of the reasons why they preferred, one of the reasons why they preferred projector is because of the friendliness with eye. It has it doesn't have really like an adverse effect. The brightness is easy to control. So projector was not really accepted in the developed countries. In fact, the time we're buying LED here, most of the churches in US and UK, they were still using projector because the technology of LED was not advanced. So projector was far better than that. Because, and we can't actually say projector is, for every technology, there is an application and there is a suitability of it. Yes. One of the major reasons why projectors is not conducive for us in this part of the world is that because we don't have a closed house of worship. We don't have an house of worship that is independent of external or external light, daylight. So for a projector to be fighting between daylight and clarity, it's not quite easy. Most of the churches abroad, you have to close your auditorium. In fact, the noise must not actually cross the door. That is so over there, they can have a closed atmosphere, a closed house of worship that you can't even see daylight inside the church. So in that kind of sphere, in that kind of space, it's good for you to use projector. You can have like a 4K, there's some 4K projector now that has a very good brightness, intensity, lumens that can serve. It will do very well. And I think one of the advantages of projector is that projectors, it does not consume space like that. The space is not a fixed space.
Yes.
It is only consumed when you engage the projector, when you use it. That's when you engage the space. When the projector is not in use, it's not obstructing anything. It's not consuming any space.
Mm-hmm.
And as at that time, a lot of persons, you can have a rear projection. You can, even if you don't want people to see it, you can even project behind the screen. People will just be saying, they will be thinking with big one, a big screen. So projector is still applicable even now. But in terms of, because of the technology of LED that is fast evolving, is actually displacing it. So those advantages we are talking about, because let's look at Pixel. This video projection we are doing.
Yes.
Is we have you either project using lights or you project using that's a normal emission, normal cathode, projection of light. You can project your picture. Then the LED, what it uses is using the digital lights. That is the LED light. That LED is light emitting diode. So as at that time, the LED we know it used to be something like this bulb that they have to put together. They will be joining them together before you can have a picture shown on it. So projection is still applicable, but when you consider what you are using it for. Now, Okoyemi, do you know in a hotel?
Yes.
They are still using projector.
Yes.
They are using Christie. They use Christie projector.
Yes.
Now, because of that space,
we actually
I'm listening to you.
Did you copy that? I said we actually still use projectors.
Yes, yes. The last time I visited, I saw the projector. And look at the hotel scenario, because it's a space that is open to the public. Anybody, you want to, is a transforming place that you change the setup at any time. So it's easier to maneuver with projector. You can suspend the projector, you can put it up, you can turn the direction, you can do all of that. I think in order not to make the place without any projection, so they have to provide projector. And let me tell you, that Christie projector you are seeing up there, you can buy the whole LED in your church. The whole backdrop of LED, very, very expensive projector.
They are very expensive.
Very expensive. Christie projector is very expensive. So for you to get that kind of delivery, you need to buy a very expensive projector. And what they do is they call something a edge blending. Edge blending, that you have to combine two projectors together for you to be able to achieve the desired result. So in terms of cost effectiveness, I think projector is on the downside. In terms of longevity, is on the downside. But if you have a lot of money to spend, you can spend hundreds of dollars to buy a very good projector. Why not? You can do with projector, because you will be more comfortable with projector, because the ray of light, what the picture is projecting is more friendly than LED. It's more calmly than LED. Let me just use that word. I think as we look at it, we understand what we mean by it. And if you do not want to, if you want to be mobile, maybe you want to be going from places to places, or maybe your church does not have a permanent, maybe you are still using a maquet or a shed. I think the best bet is for you to still use projector. If you don't have a permanent structure to do a fixed LED installation.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about churches that have moved on, that don't have the budget for projectors, but want to do TV screens. What would you advise? What are the things they should consider and how should they go about it? Hello, sir. Did you hear that question? I think our guest just logged out. Can't find him here. Okay, so while we are here, let's wait for him to join us back. Please drop your questions in the chat. Drop your questions in the chat. I know there are some people that want to invest in screens, and some of us have even invested in screens already, but we are having challenges with them. I want you to drop your questions. Let's see how many of them we can answer tonight before we go. Adura, could you please help me track what's happening to our guests? Okay, thank you. I see Mr. Bassi Majesty. Hey, my brother, Adereni Gabriel is here. Etete Udi, Mr. Etete Udi, Sister Olawumi, Brother Israel Aribo, Brother Michael. There are two Michaels here, Brother Michael Smith and Brother Michael Abu. I see all of you. Mr. Toye Eniola, fantastic. Good to have you here. Brother Udeme Usoro, good to have you. While we wait for our guests, let me see if we have questions. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. Drop them in the comments. Adra, any word from our guests?
Yeah, he's trying to reconnect. He will join us very soon.
Okay, great. All right. So if you are on the forum right now and you're not part of the WhatsApp group, the WhatsApp community, the link is in the chat. Please join the community. From there, you're going to see a host of other people like you in churches around Nigeria, around Africa, all partaking in one community. Okay. I think he's still trying to join us. Okay, so like I said, you can join the community via the link. There we share our stories, we share our challenges, we share our testimonies, and we share our burdens with one another. So we invite you to join that link. Via the link. And when you join, there's a host of other platforms that you can join us. Okay, somebody says, well done, Brother Yobami. Thank you so much. That's so encouraging. Thank you so much. Our host is still yet to join us. Okay. All right. So, is there anyone that has a question? I can bring you up now. If you want to speak with us, you have a question, this is a good time. I'll take your question. Please feel free to ask your questions. Good. Okay, our guest is taking some time. Let's give him a moment. Sure. Network is dealing with him like it deals with all of us. Okay, Who's that?
Hello.
Okay. Mr. Adedamola, you're welcome back. We can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to my device, so it got disconnected.
Oh, okay. You're back up now. Thank
So
God.
I have to switch a device now, but I will reconnect as we proceed.
Okay.
I'm sorry for that break.
No. Those are some of the challenges of virtual conferences. Very soon we'll be hosting in conferences. We'll invite you also. That way there won't be network issues.
Yeah.
All of us will see ourselves. Then we can all take selfies and all of that. Okay.
Yes. Oh. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I was saying, so let's leave projectors now. Let's go to, you ready, sir?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
So I said, let's leave the projectors now. Let's go to TV screens. I think more churches have bought TV screens because if you check our WhatsApp group, we did a post on, we did a poll on how many people have LED and how many people have, TV screens. Let me quickly scroll to that poll because I know there are some challenges with the TV screens. We have a mix of all of them. We have projectors, we have TV screens, and we also have LED screens. So, do you have LED screens in your church? 22 people said yes. 20 people said no. 4 people said we're planning to buy soon. Fantastic. Now, let me go to the poll before that, where we asked about how many screens people had in their churches. Okay, if you have 1 to 5 screens, 44 people said they have 1 to 5 screens. So I'm guessing these are TV screens. 13 churches said they have 6 to 10. And 2 said they have 11 to 20. So, what do you think about TV screens? What are the benefits of having TV screens? And there's a major question I would like to ask. Connecting the screens together. Let's talk about the technology of doing that.
Now, one of the greatest challenge of churches is distribution. When you talk about distribution, that is when you have the need for TV. And let's just break it down first. For you to have to require the need of a screen in your church, there are 2 functions you want to address. You want to use it as part of your stage, maybe to do some design, it's part of stage design. That is one. If you want to use it for the purpose of presentation, display of scripture, projection for people to see announcements, and one of the awareness in churches now is that gone are the days that people are just hearing alone. They want to see images.
Yes.
Churches or church activity. Yes, it's more engaging now. It's more interactive now.
Yes.
That not for you to be waking people up in church. That's okay. Ushers, people are no longer sleeping in church now.
Yes.
Exactly. So you have to engage them visually.
Yes.
So that's why there's a need for screen.
Yes.
And the screen, whether you are in front of the pastor or you are at the back, everybody wants to look at the screen. So the screen is not just for overflow alone. It's for even pastor that is preaching on the altar also want to see. He's also using the screen as well.
Very true. Very true.
So you have to look at, okay, now you want to address that kind of problem. So you are considering the fact that inside, outside, wherever, maybe in the balcony, in other offices, the overflow extension of your auditorium. So
Yes.
you have to first of all sit down, look at the architecture of the way you want to run, you want to distribute. Because TV is not every, like I said, most of these technologies, they have their peculiar application. Where
Yes.
TV is needed, you may not need an LED screen. In fact, a projector will not even be adequate, will not even fit in. So there is need for you to know, okay, where are you doing your projection? What is the space available? Then from the place where you are doing your production, how do you distribute? So TV only has, consumer TV only has maybe HDMI, VGA, or AV. Those are the three major inputs that comes with all this consumer TV.
Yes.
Now, among all these three, now the easiest way to distribute is the AV. And that is the poorest quality the lowest quality. That's the lowest quality you can also get. So
yeah,
now
what
you are
easiest?
in between.
Sir?
You are in between quality and ease of use now. So if you don't want to sacrifice quality, that is not your best option. If you want to achieve a good quality, so you will not go with that. If you also want to get quality, HDMI is the easiest thing to distribute. That's for HD quality. We are talking about HD in high definition now. You need HDMI. And how do you distribute that? So you need to just walk around. And thank God for what we have in the market now. We have a number of different products that can distribute, that can help you to distribute HDMI. So first of all, I'd advise any media person to sit down and do architecture of your distribution first. Don't just isolate. You want to distribute to overflow. Oh, let's just go and buy TV. Now, not just to overflow alone. The same distribution has to go to the TV inside the church. So you have to look at it. Don't just address in isolation. Most of the time, we want to send quality picture to the people inside. Then we'll now change to AV or RF. There is one that is RF. If I want to talk by experience, RF actually saved us a lot before we started introducing HD. RF is you have a single coaxial cable that is carrying both audio and video.
Yes.
That was the solution. That was way better option for us some years ago. And that was a very good solution. And I think it's still very good now.
We have a question. Somebody says, my church uses RF to send signal to our TV screen, but the converter gets bad early. I want to ask if there's any recommended converter.
Now, the problem with RF.
Yes.
Is that because it is RF, is a radio frequency prone signal.
Yeah.
If you shut down your system, then you go home, then you come back on Sunday, there is likelihood that anything might have happened, even when you don't power your devices. The lightning, the thunderstorm, those RF cables, they are very receptive to lightning.
Radio.
Yes, very, very receptive. Just like your antenna outside, they are radio frequency, they are coaxial. So they
Yeah.
have a very good, there's a good medium of transmitting radio frequency signals. So
Okay.
the best bet is for you to be able to detach, even when you are not using it, you detach it and keep it. Even if you power down, lightning can wake up your devices at any time.
Interesting.
So I would advise that the best option, there's no device. There's no device. The best device probably you can do is to have a thunder arrestor. And for you to have a very good thunder arrestor, it's going to cost a lot of money on the part of church. So for your own case, what you can control is to detach your devices and keep it. When it is time, probably another Sunday, because even if you plug it, if you power it down, as far as it is connected to that cable, it is prone to damage. Another thing you can also do is probably you disconnect everything from it. You disconnect the plug when you are not using it, then you leave it there.
Wow.
I hope that's and I believe that would definitely solve that problem.
Fantastic. Okay, so I guess there are some pastors on the on this forum. Okay, I want us to do something. If you've learned something, I want you to drop one on the chat. Just type one. Let's see if we are learning something and we are achieving something tonight. Fantastic. Victory, I see you. Okay. There are some pastors on this forum tonight, and they're thinking, what type of screens should I buy in terms of TV screens? What should we look out for when we are buying TV screens for our and there are a lot of them. There is OLED, there's QLED, there's UFD, there are so many of them. What do we look out for? How do we make the best choice for our churches?
Well, I know a lot of persons. Let me just give this comment. Most of the time, we go by the name. We want to buy a 4K.
Somebody should not mute. Brother please mute Brother Emmanuel. Thank you. Good. Thank you. All right. You can go on, sir. Sorry about the interruption.
Oh, okay. So what we're saying is that if you really want to, you have to look at your, TV. Even in the market, there is a minimum TV that is available now. You can't go to the market now and see a TV with a VGA.
Yes.
I'm talking about a TV. It's the market trend now. You can't find it. So the best is for you to buy a TV. Now let's look at the specification. In the actual sense, you don't need a 4K TV.
Fantastic.
For cost effectiveness, you don't need a 4K TV. All this issue, this TV is 4K. Your production, is it even 4K?
Exactly.
Do you even have the medium of distributing the 4K? So yes. I think it's just okay for you to just buy a TV. And the advantage, what you should also look at is a TV with a LED TV. Why are we talking about LED? It's because a LED TV is it gives a better image in terms of reflective to LCD, the one with normal LCD. So yes. You can just look at that and buy a LED TV just because you don't want rays of light, you don't want the TV to be reflecting from the wind. Maybe there's an external light coming in. You don't want the TV to reflect it, the glass on the TV. So you can just look at the LED, and that is okay. Then the size, nobody will tell you the size to buy. You know the space you are trying to address. So you buy the size that you want to. So
that suits your space.
Exactly. So that's what I would say about TV. And if you are buying TV, you depending on the number you want to buy, it is another aspect that you need to buy a TV that is smart. Smart in the sense that in case you have a solution that you want to use a network solution, or you want to use it as a standalone that you can cast on it, that can do a wireless casting. So that is what you should also consider. Get a smart TV that will save you a lot of stress. Probably, I remember one of the solutions you were doing at the time. Okoyemi, I hope you are with me.
I remember.
Yes, that you were using, you were streaming to your overflow rooms, or what do you call those rooms? The breakout room. And it was a smart TV you were using.
Yes.
Yes.
Multiple. Good.
So if you didn't have a smart TV, that may not, that solution may not be achievable for you. So let's look at buying a smart TV.
Yeah.
That will solve. That will be of advantage.
So you're buying LED and you're buying smart TV. Those are very important.
Yes.
Smart TV also helps you prepare for the future, so that in case new things are coming up, it's easy to incorporate into your TV. If the TV is not smart, you have to find a way to make it smart. Somebody said our TV is dumb. if the TV is not smart, though there are some things in the market that you can use to make the TV smart, but it's better to just buy a smart TV, like you said, sir.
Yeah. I think other things you also need to also understand is that if you have your budget too, we also determine it's better for you to compromise on the size than on the product. Why I mean you should compromise on the size? Because if a TV is up to date, even if it is not fitted in that room now, you can use it in the future for another smaller room.
Very true. Absolutely. Right.
So, because you have to also consider the fact that the church is spending money. They don't want to buy equipment that after 2 years they want to throw away. That is not useful. That doesn't fit into the present technology. So you can just compromise on the size a bit, than just buy a giant screen and doesn't have a future, a futuristic usage.
Application, yes. Very correct. Very correct.
I think someone is saying that smart is money.
That's the problem you just solved. You said you should buy a smaller smart one, so that if you are looking at a 5-inch and it's like a 65-inch LED smart TV, LG should be like what? 600,000.
I think. If you want to, most of the TV they are doing now, there is what they call DTV and ATV function inside some of these TV. Yeah. Those TVs, they receive instead of using, they receive from they have RF input at the back.
Yeah.
But it is not like your regular TV, the regular antenna TV. Some of them, they have what they call digital TV. Those digital TV can receive an HD RF, HD radio frequency signal. Like the RF I'm talking about, the normal RF we're used to is the analog RF. The latest technology now has developed a digital RF that can transmit HD over coaxial cable. So some of those TV, if you check there, you will see at the back, they will have this antenna port there. And some of them are, especially if it is smart, I think some of them, they have DTV. So you can buy a device. Maybe I will send a link before the end of this meeting. I will send some of those the picture of those devices that you can buy a modulator that does a digital TV that can digitize over RF a digital signal. They call it a digital RF. So over your same coaxial 5, you can still transmit HD, but that is HD RF. It's not the normal HD, full HD signal. It's HD RF signal. So some of these modern TV can do that for you. You just plug the antenna, the coaxial at the back, you scan, and it gives you HD. That's what they use in most of these hotels. You know, most of these hotels, you see their signal very crispy. It's not video, it's not HDMI they are using. They are using RF. But the RF, some of these first class hotels, they use a digital RF. I don't know if many of us were used to that or we've come across that. If you have come, I'm still trying to battle with my system. I think my system is running out of space. That's why I've not been able to access it. So I just restarted the system. As soon as the system comes back, I will log in. Then I'll be able to show you some pictures of some of these things I'm talking about.
Okay, I think Mr. Koyeme is trying to join back in.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear my question?
No, we didn't hear you.
Good. Okay, so I said somebody put a chat up and said, I would advise don't rush to buy from new brands because smart TVs are hard to fix. And I said, that is very true. The major challenge people have with these smart TVs is power. I think we've had to repair our TVs because of power more than anything else. And those TVs, because they're expensive to buy, it's also expensive to get their parts. So what would you advise regarding power and maintaining the right power frequency for our TVs?
TV technology is not like their new brand. That is new.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy, that's why most of the TV we buy, they are this China brand that doesn't have a replacement. You can see a TV that is brand LG. If you buy LG, original LG, they will not tell you there is no part for it. But most of the time, most of the TV that is flooded in the market now, they are just imitation of those original devices that when you buy them, they will tell you that they don't have a part for it because it's not even original new brand. If it's a name that is not popular, I will not even advise you buy it. Okay. Most of these registered companies, Samsung, LG, they have a service center that they will never tell you that there's no part for it. It might just take some time. There's no most of the time, because we use HDMI, they are very, very prone to power damage. That's why you have to be very careful with power. You know, one of those things, let me just tell you some of the ideas we normally do. When you finish your service, try and disconnect, especially if you are using HDMI, disconnect the HDMI source from your distributor, especially the one that you know you can't control the power within that range. And that is why it's always good for you to always protect your, you can't run a HDMI without transmitting some level of voltage over that cable. The HDMI definitely will have some transient voltage embedded in it. So if there's any surge from anywhere, it's easy for the HDMI cable to transmit that surge and destroy the TV. So I think what we should also look at is to prevent that kind of surge, not to discourage yourself or discourage others from buying, smart. What I mean, if you want to buy a TV, the difference in terms of cost between that smart and the ordinary one, if you know you want to buy an ordinary TV that is not smart, fine. You can you can decide that, okay, let me just buy this. But for the purpose of future use, that's why we are saying smart. If you know you have a problem with your power connection within your church, don't even use more of HDMI. Try and avoid the use of HDMI, because power, you have to solve the power problem first before you start to think about using HDMI. Now, the other solution that you can also use is using an HDMI extender. If you have HDMI extender, it's over Cat6 cable you are transmitting your signal. Now, is the TV that is supplying the power to your receiver. The TV is going to supply the power to your receiver. You can just, because it's something you can power with USB with your receiver. USB can power it. So try and limit sending HDMI over a long distance to a place you cannot control the power. Probably that the power is not even coming from a place that is you have an oversight. So like I used to say, if your AC has problem within your auditorium and they join live wire to neutral together and the thing is spark, it will go through everything within that circuit and it will damage your TV. So if you are running TV to places, why not run power separately from where you can control it and make sure that, this power that is going there is something you can control. But honestly, there is no need of discouraging. And I also want to answer the question that I saw here. We're talking about wireless transmission. Wireless transmission is not the best option for a fixed or a permanent installation. Wireless transmission should be, in fact, I will discourage you from using wireless.
Okay.
Anything can happen within your program. You can even have a dignitary that they will come with a jammer. What will you do?
Very
Last
true.
time, I was wondering why when Trinity Towers was dedicated, we were watching online and a lot of the signal was not stable. And I got to understand that probably, a lot because of the dignitary, they were having issues with their signal, probably because of jamming and anti-bomb, anti-whatever that they deploy there.
Very true. Very true.
And that kind of scenario will always come. So don't depend on wireless. If it's a fixed installation, cabling is the best option for you.
Yeah. I remember one experience, the experience concerts that we do at Tafawa Balewa Square in December. I think it was Vice President Osibajo that was coming. They jammed all the signals. Anybody that was doing wireless that night would have regretted it himself. But because we ran cables to every single screen, we have about 30 screens there. We ran cables, hard cables to every one of them. So it wasn't, we weren't disrupted. But like he said, it's just one dignitary that will come to your church and everybody would wonder what happened to all the screens. So please, let's run cables, hard cables as backup for whatever will come up in the future. Okay, we are at 9:02 now. So I know we still have to talk about LED. So I want us to quickly go there. Churches are already.
Yeah. Okay.
I know that's your main place. That's where you think all of us should actually head to, because I remember when we wanted to solve the problem with our own, you advised LED and you were telling me about the cost effectiveness, the longevity, and the appeal also of the screens. So I want to ask, a church is trying to buy LED screens now. What am I supposed to consider? I'm a pastor. I run a church of about 200 people. What am I supposed to consider before I buy LED? Okay, now LED can be different, have different applications. You can use LED as your iMag, and you can use LED as your video wall on the stage. Those are two applications that are different. So your iMag is image magnification. You're sending camera feeds to those LEDs, and your video wall is like the one you talked about that Koza has installed on their stage, where the whole back of the stage is an LED screen. So what am I supposed to be looking out for as a pastor, as a team lead, as someone who is in charge of technical, in terms of purchase of LED, in terms of distribution of signals to LED?
Well, LED, like I said at the beginning, that LED technology is really advanced now.
Yes.
It's advanced that for every purpose, for everyone that wants to, as much as it is advanced now, most of these advanced countries, they are already deploying it. In fact, that is when the introduction of fine pitch, there is something we call fine pitch. Fine pitch starts from P2 and below. Now, what do we mean by fine pitch? Is that those ones that have a very high resolution per square meter. That is unlike what we used to have before, that, P6 was very common. We have one of the deterrents or discouragement we have with LEDs, because when you move close to it, you don't enjoy it. You don't get comfortable with it. But these days, we have some very good pixel that even at a very close range, at 1 meter, you can have it. That the resolution, what it produces is more like your TV, your 4K screen at home.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages that we have with LED. So before you can even think of buying LED, let's look at what you want to achieve in terms of this area you want to cover.
Yeah.
If you are using a video wall, for all this video LED, they call it video wall. Even for the one that you use for projection, they call it wall. But let's make it simple now. What we mean by video wall in this situation is that you are using it as a set, as part of your stage design.
Yes.
Let's call it a video wall. That is a function. You want to use it as part of your design. Ordinarily, it's not like you want people, you are not projecting live feed on it. Then the other function you need is you want to use it to project a live feed, a mix down of what is happening within your production room. So now you need to understand that the LED itself is a light emitting device. The moment you bring in LED, you have added some form of light inside your auditorium. So you have to look at that.
Yeah.
The simplest way that you will not have any problem is to have LED screen left and right. Can you just give me 1 minute? I think I'm added.
Okay, your computer is back up, Abby. Okay, I think our guest is logged out, so it will come back in. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Mr. Adeleke Olawale, I like your submission. For power issue at my end, I connected all outputs to a power sequencer that really saved us some headache. Fantastic. I need to know what that power sequencer is, sir. Could you be kind enough to drop a picture of it on the WhatsApp group? Can you drop it in the community? For our church, I think we also have something of that nature, though we go through our UPS for almost all our devices. Then some that don't go through the UPS, and our UPS does power voltage regulation, and we use what do they call it? Power guard. There are these small devices that you plug into your wall sockets before you plug your TV into them. I think it's called power guard. So that's one other way to protect your equipment from damage from power. And one of the things that get damaged easily are your screens. Before you know it, you're seeing multicolor lines. You're seeing power surge protector. Thank you. That's the name, power surge protector. Those small devices, I think they go for about 10K now. I think it's about that price. So you have to have one for each of your screens. Okay, let me see. Who else has a comment? Okay, Mr. Adedamola, you're back, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic. Okay. So let's do something once again. If you have learned something tonight, drop a 2 in the comment. Drop a 2. Let's see how far we are going. I believe we are all learning something. I have learned some things tonight that I didn't know about, and we're about to learn even more. We have about 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes, and we will call it a day. So like I said, if you have not joined the WhatsApp community, this is a good time to do so. I'm dropping the link in the comments now. Just click on that link. It takes you directly to the group where everyone can be a part of. Fantastic. Okay, so you said you were going to share some things on your screen. Are you able to do that now? Mr. Damola, can you hear me? Okay, I think this line has frozen. Okay, I see a lot of 2. Good. Good to have everyone. He's still struggling with that, his network. Okay, all right. So let me quickly bring up some of the things we want to discuss before we call it a day tonight. So it will talk to us about LED screens, the specifications, the refresh rates, brightness, configuration. Then there is a very important topic that we need to talk about, and that is churches getting the technical team, the technical media team involved when constructing their auditoriums. Do we understand what I'm saying? Like it's becoming troublesome for the media teams when, after everything has been done, they now call in the media team. Someone's asking for the group link. Okay, I'm going to drop it. It's becoming more cumbersome these days to see that the church has already finished building the auditorium. They now call the media team in, and you have a lot of headaches running your cables. You know, nobody made provision for cable trays. They didn't make provision for your studio. They just say pick one corner there. Then by the time you pick the corner, you find out that that corner is a bunker. Like they used concrete all around it. Like you don't know where to pass your cable through. How do you run your cable to your screens? You understand? So those are part of the things we had highlighted to talk about today. If your pastor tells you that they are building a branch, and it's okay. Are you back, sir, Mr. Damola?
Yes, I'm with you.
Fantastic. Okay, I just wanted to keep the space going. So I said
Can you allow me share my screen, please?
Great. Okay. Adura, can you please allow share a screen? So, like I was saying, if your pastor is building, please. Okay. Is this the sequencer? Fantastic. Fantastic. I see it. Somebody just shared an idea with us on how to protect our equipment from power surge. Mr. Damola, can you hear me?
That's yeah, I mentioned it the other time that if you can send your power directly from where you can control it, where you can protect it, that is the best option for you. If you want to display and you don't want to start having damages, please send power where you can control it and you can protect it. Don't just plug from inside that room. I know it will cost you a lot of money, but for the sake of protecting your devices. So, and try as much as possible to use your converter should be powered. The receiving end should be powered from the CV. Most of those converters, they use 5 volts. So the USB from the TV can actually supply the 5 volts. So instead of looking for where to plug it, make sure you engage the TV or that's your display to be able to supply the power. With that, you'll be able to protect it. I think using TV is usually a very problematic display, especially if you are using HDMI, just like I mentioned. But let's leave HDMI. Let's leave whether the TV is problematic. We are church media people. We are known for improvising solutions. So because for the fundamental problem that we always have that we fail to solve is our power. Not just only the TV that is getting damaged. When you have a set of connection or a set of power circuits that have some partial contacts, maybe they are not firmly tightened, they are not firmly connected. Those spikes that happen, they can damage because they are transient voltages, transient current that is sending both signal and power to your devices every moment.
Yeah.
Even if you have from your control room, your power box by DB, if there's a cable that is lightly used, that is tightly fixed, that maybe when the service has started, you see some little spark. Those little spark can damage your converters. SDI converter.
Okay, I think its video has frozen.
Yes, please pardon me. I don't know what happened to my Zoom. It keeps restarting. Maybe because I updated it this morning.
Okay.
I updated it this morning. I don't know why it's behaving like that. So now let's leave power. And the aspect I want us to also dwell on is the LED.
Yes.
LED is a word on its own. You have a lot of reason to use LED. And if you are going to use LED, please, let's have adequate knowledge before we invest a whole lot of money on it. I saw one of the comments. Somebody posted and showed us what they did in their church. They have TVs and they did a video wall with the TVs. They cascaded TVs together. I think it's a 2x3 TVs, 6 TVs was joined together. That's a good one. That is, you are using what is available to do the possible. So I think that aspect, the issue with that and compared to LED is because of maintenance. Nobody is insisting that we must buy LED. But if by virtue of capacity, you can afford it, LED is a very robust system you can use in terms of, because it's a modular display. When we are talking about power, when you have a power surge, the only thing that can bring down your LED is probably maybe your processor, video processor. If power damages is because it's the one sending signal to the, that's where you have a total collapse. But if there's a power problem with the LED, it's just a section, probably a segment of it that will be affected, which can be fixed. Even you can also even fix it by yourself. Unlike LCD that you have to take to a technician.
This challenge, God is more than you. I think his Zoom has restarted again.
Please just bear with me. I will try as much as possible to be fast with this.
Okay.
And to maintain it is quite easy. Now let's look at your auditorium. You want to deploy LED. When we are talking about P4, P3, P2, this is what we are talking about. I hope everybody can see the screen. Now, a typical LED screen surface will look like this. They are chip that is dotted. They are dotted chip spread across. So the gap in between them, that is what we call the pitch. And that is what determines the overall pixel arrangement. So the gap in between is the number we always mention. That's a P2, P3. So if I say P2, it means that the gap in between, if I say P4, the gap in between them is 4 mm. So if I say P10, now let's look at it. The closer it is now, the better. Because what it means is that in a very small place, you have a number of pixels loaded in it. In a small place, maybe this place now, I have on my right side, you have like 20 pixels loaded there. If it is P10, it may not take up to 20. It might just take almost like maybe like 4. So which means is that those pixels, they are spaced and they won't give you the desired result. You can only get a desired result when you are very far from it. So the picture fit is important to determine the clarity of your display because of the viewing distance. You know, by the time you move closer to it, that's when you see the tiny gap we are talking about. So, and definitely it will affect how you perceive pictures in it. We can see this one that we have red dots on it is, we call it DIP. Those DIP, they have high brightness than this one. This one is called SMD. SMD is said that is a chip. The 3 colors are embedded in that chip. So this is a technology that they decided that, okay, all these 3 let's put it together in a chip. That's when you have. So we have to look at that. And let me give you a way for you to be able to know what is the kind of pixel, the pitch that you need for your auditorium. If you know, when we are talking about minimum, there is something we call minimum viewing distance. I'm using glasses. Okoyemi too is using glasses. If we remove our glasses, our viewing distance will be different from when I'm using my glasses. And everybody will have different viewing distance. Some people are far-sighted, some people are short-sighted, some people have both sides. Now, how do we now know the best viewing distance? The best distance people will be able to, because some people, they have to go far before they can see a tiny image. So there's something we call visual acuity distance. You know, the normal vision says that if you can see in 20 feet, you should be able to see normally within 20 feet. If you stand and look at an image at 20 feet, so which means that even if you go at 100 feet, you'll be able to see it clearly. So that's what this 20/20 vision means. Now, the rule is that if you want to buy an LED, you know the position where you are going to install it is very, very close to people. Now, look at the distance. If the distance is like 3 meters, now what you should know is that the pixel that you are going to buy, let's say 3 meters, let's convert it to feet. 3 meters is like 10 feet. Am I right? Hello?
1 meter is about 3 feet.
Okay. I want to be sure people are hearing me. So
yeah.
What it means is that 10 feet, if you divide it by 10, that's like you need like a P1. That's for a 3 meter, you know, because you are going to be very, very close to it. So now let's look at, let me look at 30. You want to use a P3 now. Let me tell you what with the application where you use a P3. A P3 is going to be at a viewing distance of like 30 feet. 30 feet is like 10 meters. So which means that if your viewing distance is going to be like 10 meters, so what you should do is just to multiply, divide the distance in feet divided by 10. It will give you what pitch you should use. That's why we say, know the viewing distance first. The average viewing distance of any auditorium, you know, depending on the height you want to install it. If you want to install it on a very high, why are you investing on buying P1 or P2? Because you are looking for high resolution? No. If you put a P1 there or P2 there, the effect will not be noticed, just like you are wasting your resources there. So my advice is that for a viewing distance that is far, if you are using it for a video wall is the type that is just directly at the back of the pastor, at the back of the pulpit. One is interacting with your camera. Secondly, somebody is going to be in front of it. They may even want to look back. So the viewing distance is very short. So I would advise that don't go and use the one that the viewing distance is high. It's better for you to use any pixel that is below P2. Because with P2, automatically what it means is that the viewing distance is going to be like 2 meters. No, I said 2 meters. So that's going to be like 6 meters or 7 meters. Let's say 6 meters. So which is still okay, which is still good for you. And I remember the other time, some years ago, I went to a church. They bought an LED, they put it at the back of the stage, and they were complaining that they need to change their cameras because the camera was not interpreting the image well. I say it's not the camera you are going to change. That in the first instance, you have bought a wrong LED. The LED you bought is a I think it was P6. Yes. I said this P6 will not give you a better image with your camera. So it's better you deploy this LED to another place that is not going to be interacting with camera. And if you're also buying, let's look at this setup. This is the setup I'm talking about. This setup is you have 2 side screens, then you have one in the middle. The one in the middle requires a better resolution because it's going to be interacting with your camera. The one on the left and right is not going to be interacting with your camera, so you don't have to spend money for high specification.
Okay,
Another
when you
thing I
say,
will also say is that one way or the other.
so when you say interact,
funny,
what do you mean, sir?
it's going to. What I mean by interacting with your camera is that your camera is the one that is going to be interpreting the image, not just human eye.
Yeah, so your camera is looking at that most of the time.
It's looking at it.
Yeah.
Humanly speaking, our eyes have some limits and is actually even more intelligent than camera. Your retina is more intelligent than the camera. Your eye can adapt. God has made it in such a way it is auto. It's has a way of focusing, of adjusting. It is when your eye cannot focus, that's when you go and look for glasses.
Yeah.
Then what we mean is that when your camera is seeing this screen, your camera is going to only work with the specification that is built inside that camera.
Okay.
So the interpretation of this screen will be based on the capacity of that camera. So now, what are the things that the camera is interpreting? The camera is interpreting because any picture you display on the screen is a moving object that is constantly, that's why we have what we call frequency. Frequency is the rate at which images are appearing on the screen. So if there's what we call refresh rate. Refresh rate is in a layman. Let me give you a picture, a scenario of refresh rate. The refresh rate is the number of times your image will be displayed. It's not about even if it's not a moving picture. As far as it is a picture, is a video signal. It will have some interpretation in terms of frequency, the way it appears, and your camera is going to interpret it based on its own shutter speed. You know that camera works with shutter speed to be able to interpret your images. So your refresh rate is going to determine how your camera will see the image that is beamed on it. You have, in LED world, we have what we call a low refresh rate and we have high refresh rate. A low refresh rate, let me just, let me show you this video for us to know what we are talking about. I want to play a clip. You know what I mean by refresh rate.
Okay. So as we are rounding up Okay, somebody says, can the slide be shared afterwards, please? Mr. Damola.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, but that will be done in the WhatsApp community group. So if you would like to get the
I
slide,
hope we're seeing.
yes, we can see your screen.
Are
Your
we
YouTube.
seeing?
Yes, your YouTube is loading. We can see it.
Okay. Now you can see the image that on this screen. You can see what it's giving us. Can you see the lines?
Yes.
So you can see that is what we are talking about in terms of refresh rate. To a naked eye, you will never see that kind of image. That image will not display to a naked eye. So what are we now saying? For us to be able to get the best from our LED video wall, for this type we have at the center, this one we have at the center is a very more important LED you have to consider in buying. Now, I mentioned that the one on the side, you can buy, you just have to look at the minimum viewing distance. The moment you look at, because your camera is not going to be showing itself, because you are beaming your camera on this one, on the side. That's what we are sending, you are projecting. If your camera faces it, you know it's going to be like a loop. So I know you will not want to do that. You won't do that. So what it means is that your camera is not going to your camera is not going to be facing that one on the side. What your camera will be facing is the one in the middle. So you have to consider that the one in the middle has to be a very good one, a very good one with a low refresh rate. Then the second thing is just the contrast. You know, look at these two images I have here. One has some low contrast in terms of the bright part and the dark part. So the contrast is low on this side, on the one on the left. Then you can have the one on the right has a very high contrast. The image details and the color layers are retained. They don't. You don't have to have over bright images for you to be able to enjoy it. So now another thing is just like, you don't want to solve a problem and now creating another problem. When you have LED in the church, you know what you are doing is that you are introducing light from the back. So you have a lot of backlight. And everybody knows that when your backlight is more than the key light, you are going to have something like a silhouette look. I hope we understand what I mean by that.
Yes,
you are going to have a silhouette look. The silhouette look is going to look like the face of the pastor or the face of the person is dark. And before you can think of LED at all, especially for the video wall, make sure you have a very good lighting system. If your lighting system is not okay, don't advise your pastor that you need a video wall. You don't need a video wall at the back of the stage yet, except you have a good broadcast light. So that by the time you reintroduce, the pastor will not understand it. The pastor has seen it somewhere. The pastor wants you to also come and replicate what he has seen. And you'll be forced to accept that, but just you can educate that, sir, let's have a good broadcast lighting first. By the time we have it, then we cannot introduce it. So that's what I would advise us to do, because LED is a light emitting device. When the light that is coming from the back is more than the one that is facing, which is the key light, you are going to have a problem with that. So I will advise. Then one other thing I also want us to be very careful in terms of LED is that the quality of the chip we are buying. Let me tell you, there are different chips in the market. We have, the other device I have is, because I restarted, I can't find some file here because I deleted some file because of my storage in space. My system is complaining about storage. I didn't know I deleted this file, I emptied them. So what I want to tell you about is that the chip you are buying will determine the lifespan of your LED. I was telling someone, if you buy LED and you are driving your LED intensity at 100%, what it means is that your lifespan, the decay rate of your LED chip is going to be very, 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 very fast.
That's your brightness.
The brightness of your LED.
Yes.
Is going to, because why I mentioned chip is that the quality of the chip will determine the lifespan. So whichever quality you buy, make sure you don't drive it at maximum. Because what it means is that you will lose your pixel, you will lose the chip of that LED will be losing out very, very, very fast. For indoor, you know, it is in this part of the world that we don't have a health and safety regulation, because in advanced world, there is an intensity of light you must produce inside indoor, so that it will not have adverse effects on people's eye. But here, we can just throw light anywhere. Even your moving head, whatever you do, you can just move it anyhow, because maybe probably there's no regulation on that. Over there, they are very careful about people's sight. So if you are driving your LED at high, you are not only damaging the LED, you are also reducing the lifespan of people's eye too. When somebody is supposed to spend like 20 years for good sight or 30 years to enjoy good sight, obviously if it's under that environment for 5 years, you may lose his sight. Sight in the sense that if he doesn't see something bright, he won't be able to read. I hope we understand what I'm saying. So
perfectly.
Let's try and make sure we do not abuse the LED just because it can be very bright. You don't need bright light indoor. Why do we close window? Why do we control our light? Because we don't want too much light. We should have as well remove the window, remove the roof, so that everywhere will be bright. No, we want to control the light. That's why we have. So our advice, we should not do all of that. Now, the other aspect I also want us to also note concerning LED.
Mr. Damola, I think we should be rounding up. It's already 9:40.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm rounding up now. This is the last statement I'm going to make.
All right.
To understand something, we've exhausted this LED aspect. If you want to know more, I'm going to definitely forward this presentation to us. What we should also understand is that as media professionals, if you have people that have come to your church to do one installation or the other, please, let's get involved. Let's get involved in the sense that what you do not know that will be of benefit to you now. Let me just tell you an experience with this LED. I'm going to use this experience to round off my, when you were reading my profile, I think I got to take LED as a business. That was in 2011. That was when I saw the business in it. You know, we've been doing LED, I've been used to it, we do it in church, we do all of that. But a time came, and even when we do, there's nothing that anybody comes to do in our church that I don't get involved. Whether it is a fee that I'm interested or not, but as far as it is in our media team, I always get involved. And we're learning. You know, you can be learning and not knowing. So we're learning all of this. So when the occasion came, and somewhere else, they wanted to do LED installation, that was when I appeared, and maybe by one reason or the other, I was there. Actually, I did not even demand for money, and they paid me a huge sum of money for configuring that LED. That was when I knew that, wow, all these things we do in church. Somebody told me something. some years ago. It's one of these installer that came to install lights in our church. He said there's somebody in a church. I don't want to mention the name, but it's a very popular place. He said that guy is a genius. He said, don't do anything in his presence. The moment you do anything, something in his presence, he said, he has already known it. And I said, wow, that is a good testimony about somebody in a church. You know, many of us in the media, especially with my experience, when we go to places, when you go and do installation, you will see them, they will just be doing as if they are the yoga, that they have come to inspect your work. Alpha, they will go, come back. Instead of them to get involved, because you do not know when you will need it. In fact, nobody should even come to your domain to come and do any installation without you knowing the beginning and the end. As far as you are not importing the product, as far as the product is being assembled in your domain, please let's get involved. Because some of these things, there's no magic about it. I always tell people, there's no place where I install LED. I will tell them that this is how we do it. This is what is involved. This is how to do your maintenance. Because if I don't carry you along, eventually you may have problem in the future that it will put a burden on me. So why should somebody not get interested? So I want to encourage everyone here. It's a good platform that I've come here to introduce it, because there's no church that will not require this kind of product. But whoever that you are engaging, make sure you get involved. Thank you, Mr. Kweyemi. I'm sorry for exhausting our time, and I'm sorry for the misbehavior of my system tonight.
The time is well spent. We appreciate you so much, sir, for sharing such large amount of information in such short time. We know these kind of things are things that we organize master classes for. People have to run it for about a week or two to really get the details. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone that has joined us tonight. Thank you. Like I said, we're going to be making the slides available, but it will be in the WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, the link is in the chat right now. The link is in the chat. Just click that link. It takes you directly to the group, and you will be able to participate and receive also the file. Okay, I've posted it. Check the chats, please. Check the chats. I just posted the link up there. So finally, we want to say thank you again to everyone that joined tonight. I want to ask my brother Adura. Adura, can you please lead us in a closing prayer? Let's just close with a prayer tonight so that we can all go to our various businesses. Adura, are you there? Adura, can you hear me? Somebody's asking for a link. I don't know what link. So that's the link. I just posted it. Look in the chat. You will see the link, please. Okay, if Adura is not there, can someone please lead us in a closing prayer? Somebody led by the Spirit. Just unmute your mic. Lead us in a closing prayer. Thank you so much. Thank you too. Okay, we're waiting. Somebody needs to lead us in a closing prayer.
Hello, good evening.
All right, let's go.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Hey, Brother Franklin, thank you so much.
Father, we thank you for helping us. Thank you for being with us. We thank you for this knowledge you've imparted to us. We give you praise, we return all glory and thanksgiving to you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
We thank you for the of this forum. We thank you even for our guest who has imparted us with knowledge. Oh, we pray that he who has served, may he be serviced in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
He has told much needed knowledge. Father, in the name of Jesus, may his life meet another turnaround too. in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
I pray for
Amen.
Amen.
that of this program that they will do more and they will do exploits. Every resource needed to push forward to this vision, oh God, we pray that you will make available in Jesus' name. And for those
Amen.
of us who have learned a thing or two, we pray that we will educate it. We will not just come here, waste data, waste time, and go back and stay the same. We will put to use what we have learned in the mighty name of Jesus. Help us, oh God, around the church. In Jesus' dear name we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you so much, Brother Franklin. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We
Thank
truly
you.
honor to have you. Okay. Good night.
All
And
right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good night.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Mola, thank you so much, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate. Bye.
Thank you too. Thank you.